Hey, remember when we had that sushi back bling that wouldn't fit anybody? Hey, remember when we had those skis that wouldn't fit anybody? Including the company's own characters? Hey, you remember when I had warped parts from this one company's particular toy line? Well, apparently I'm a glutton for punishment because I'm going to try them out one more time and see if this one finally makes a difference. Hello, Fortnite and toy fans. I'm here with another one of our toy openings. Now, in the intro, I said remember all these things. Well, we're going to hopefully compare this and see if those pieces actually fit on our Meowscles, or also known as Meowscles. Now, this is a Hasbro product, and if you remember back from when I looked at Siona and Dio, I was kind of upset about, how the figures were made. They just didn't feel right. There was articulation problems, there was paint issues, and I ended up sending those back. And to top it off, the skis didn't fit, the back bling didn't fit from the shark. We had all sorts of issues. And what was bothersome is that Hasbro is supposed to have all these together in a Victory Royale series. Pieces and parts supposed to fit across the board. However, I didn't really feel like they did. Now, Meowscles here in shadow is pictured on the front with the shark in the shark's packaging. And remember, he has the skis and everything. So we're going to be able to compare and see if those pieces actually fit to Meowscles here in shadow. Now, I picked this one up recently over at Ross. I'm going to go ahead and show you here. Ross has it as normally a $28 value. I got it for $12.99. This isn't something I can send back, well, because, Amazon, I could with the Dio and Siona. This one, I'm not going to be able to. So I'm hoping that this will be good enough to keep in my collection. Now, Meowscles here comes on, or I should say, I need to put that on. Meowscles Shadow here comes in one of our boxes that has very limited plastic. Now, they hadn't gone completely with the recyclable boxes that have no windows. Instead, this one does still have a window, so it's a part of that kind of first wave of figures. We do have over here a little listing that shows all the stuff that comes with them, between the assault rifle, the harvesting tools, the pistols, a barbell, and the the play ball with the golden mouse bomb. So there's a lot of fun, silly things in here. We also see that it looks like a weight bench and Meowscles in front, showing off his muscles. Now, let's take a look at the back. On the back, we get Meowscles' Shadow, we get Fortnite Victory Royale series. These don't have any blurbs. It doesn't have like their tagline or what they say in game, or like their little kind of joking chat thing, which is something I miss because I liked that in the Jazwares figures. But we get to see Meowscles here along with Meowscles Shadow here along with the barbell, weight bench with the actual weights on it, and then all the other things listed up here. And interestingly enough, this doesn't actually look like the toy. It looks like a computer-generated toy. So it's very clean for what we're getting. Notice that there's nothing in here as far as like cross-sell art or anything about other stuff coming out in the series. Pretty much this is all you get, and it's focused solely on Meowscles Shadow. Now that's all I can say about the box here for Meowscles Shadow. We got a nice art rendition of them, but it's not like an in-game skin. We get a window where we can see a little bit of them, some of the weight set. But other than that, this is it. We need to get this one out and get to battling. And straight out of the package, this is Meowscles or Meowscles Shadow along with the accessories. Now, everything is pretty much bagged up. You get these two big pieces here. We get to see this in package. We get to see, of course, Meowscles Shadow in package. And the guns are actually attached in the holsters. You can take them out, but they are there. And we'll look at those here in a minute. Other than that, you get all this nice recyclable tissue paper thing that you can basically get rid of. So there's the bench. You've got over here, let's see, these are, oh, you got the rifle here. And wow, that's pretty sad looking. I'm gonna have to heat that up, probably bend that back out. I love that we're getting this rifle, but wow, that's not the best looking right there. You do get this one. This one has a little bit of tape on it. Let's see if we can just rip it and do it that way. And out of this, we do get a couple of bonus hands. So we get Fist. We get the yarn back bling with the, was that the like rat grenades? It was like the front leg of the weight bench, and then we do get that barbell there as well. Just pretty cool. And then we got one more item here. And these, of course, are Meowscles Shadows harvesting tools, and those kind of knuckled down gold blades. Pretty cool. And I like the gold motif again, going back to Midas. Pretty awesome. Now this weight bench, how this works is this, of course, will sit up like this. You've got a tab here where this will snap into place. Just push it down. You got the front foot one there. There you go. And then this guy just fits up here. Interestingly enough about these, this weight itself is that it has a bow in the bar to kind of indicate that this thing is like super, super heavy. And that's how it comes in the box. You could heat it and push it back out, but anyway you put it, that bow is going to kind of be there. And it's, I think, meant to be there. It fits on the weight bench like so, and has a bit of weight on these like weights here. They feel kind of hefty. Just put the barbell there. We only do get that one barbell, and that's okay. Other than that, here's the weight bench. Let's take a look at Meowscles here. Now, Meowscles has a little bit less articulation than the Jazwares. We get a ball jointed head instead of the ball hinge. And the face is pretty much just printed on. There's a little bit of sculpting there for the earring, but everything else has just printed on. We do get an ab crunch. And that ab crunch, something to keep in mind is that his harness lines up with his back bling hole. This pushes that harness and the hole out of the way. So that's going to limit some of his articulation. He has a little bit of a waist turn. It's kind of like a ball jointing, but it's not very good, and it is stopped by this harness here. He does have the butterfly joints in the shoulders, and really tight shoulders at that. The ball hinge jointing on the shoulders is very tight. You have the bicep cut and that really cool tattoo there. You get the double hinged elbows. Now, I'm not a big fan of this type of double hinged elbows. It makes the arm look kind of weird and flat. So this is kind of a weird thing. And I know this was a problem that I had with Dio, was I did not like it. But that's how they're doing their joints. I'm just going to have to get used to it, I guess. You got the wrist here where you got the ball hinge. And then you've got these hands that have very, very tight plastic. I don't know how that's going to work for getting weapons in. Same thing on this arm. This shoulder is also pretty tight itself. The main difference is that this hand has that rifle cock where you can cock the hand down instead of in. So I guess he's meant to kind of hold his rifle. On the back, you do have a ball jointing on the tail that allows the tail to kind of swing around and move. You can pop that off. It's just a ball joint. And pop it back in. Now with that, you do have a ball jointed thigh here along with a thigh cut. Double hinged knees, and they're nice and tight. You do have a calf cut here, a boot cut. I kind of wish it was a little bit further down here so we didn't have to see that cut. Along with that, you got ankle rockers, and mine were super tight. I had to kind of work them out. And then you've got kind of a swivel foot jointing there as well. Some decent things about it, and it's hard to tell, but you know, he's kind of got this cool gray coloring about him, nice painted apps. The belt has really beautiful detail there. The gold on the belt looks awesome. And there's a nice texture on the jeans that make it look like jeans. And that's paint app and design on this is really nice. It looks great. And then of course he's got these gold pistols. Now, this hand feels a little more pliable than the last one. It does hold his pistols relatively well. I like that. Let's try this hand, because this one was the one that felt a little bit tighter than the other. Oh man. I'm going to have to heat that hand and work it out just a little bit. But yeah, you can do that as well. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm starting to change my mind a little bit right now. The weight does fit in his hand. Let's see him do a curl. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Working. Building muscle. But if he's, like Hercules, but a cat, so Meowscles, then, he's already kind of super strong. Now that back bling does have a post that fits right into the back. Yeah, that actually works. Though it does kind of hinder the harness, but it does actually work. Kind of wondering if this one, if the harness could have gone up a little bit and then not centered right on the back bling, but that's okay. It looks okay. I like it. Other than that, we've got that rifle. And that, let's see how that fits in his hands here. Yeah, not too bad. The one thing that kind of bothers me is the curve of the rifle. It's going to have to be fixed, but we could get the hand on there. We're just going to have to probably pull this hand out a little bit. It's not, the plastic on it is kind of stiff, so it doesn't really want to go around this whole barreling system. Other than that, he's got his harvesting tools, his knives here. And both of these, if I can get them both in hands. Ooh, yeah. This hand here, that left hand, is something else. And I'm under some hot halogen light, so I feel like it's pulling those hands out a little bit, but yeah, that's going to be a tough fit for that one. I would say that if you get Meowscles Shadow here, you're definitely going to want to spend some time working that hand out. Now, as far as the peggable hands, pegs out, pegs in, simple as that, and then he's got a punch-in hand. I don't know how often I would use that, because honestly, most of the time I like to have my characters holding weapons, but it's kind of nice having it there. Yeah. Now, I said that we were going to try it and check with that shark. So, let's clear some space and get our shark out. All right. Hey, you remember that shark we had? Yes, we do. Now, kind of disappointed we were about some of it. Now, let's take a look and see if that shark was worth the price we paid getting it. Now, on the package of the shark, it does have Meowscles Shadow on kind of shark behind it. So, we'll start off with the skis, because I remember these skis did not really fit Dio at all. Definitely did not fit Siona. Let's see if they fit. Oh, so I'm starting to see that this set was probably made for Meowscles Shadow. So that's him with the skis. Put the sushi back bling on him, which also fits. Okay. And then let's get the fishing rod in hand. All right. And then we'll add this to our shark. Pose him up a little bit. Yeah, kind of what I thought. Let's change that up. Let's kind of what I thought. The shark was really made for Shadow Meowscles here. And it's one of those where it seems kind of disappointing because they're not making all the figures available to have or be able to utilize all the parts. Like the sushi back bling didn't fit on the other two characters I had. They kept falling off. They seem to fit fine to Shadow Meowscles, and he's able to hold the fishing rod, and the skis fit great to him. But now it seems like this is really meant for the shark and the shark only. Let's try them with the video games and see how they look. Okay, and of course here he is with the arcade machines, and each one of the arcade machines has your accessories in there. So we'll take a look at the accessories with him and see how it works out. So with these, of course, we have that Scout, was it the thermal Scout rifle, which actually fits him really, really well. Like, that one looks incredible. That might actually be a new weapon that he's going to be holding. Then, of course, you've got the tactical submachine gun, which looks pretty good. And this one's a little bit smaller than the Jazwares version. So I feel like this one scaled a little bit more to the way it's supposed to be versus the Jazwares. So I really did enjoy their tactical submachine gun. You've got this, but it doesn't fit in hand. So the shield, jar shield potion doesn't. However, the clingy bomb does. And it looks nice. Along with the heavy sniper rifle. And originally the character that I was trying to find when I went out to grab one of these Hasbro ones was Metal Mouth. And Metal Mouth does come with that heavy sniper rifle. I am kind of glad right now, though, that I was able to get a Meowscles Shadow. And then, of course, you've got the Boogie Bomb, and the Boogie Bomb can fit in hand that way. So, not too bad. I wonder if I can clip the Boogie Bomb onto, like, the harness here. Let's see. Gonna run around with the Boogie Bomb. Make people dance. Alright. And then, of course, size-wise to the machines, he's a little tall, but I know he's probably the taller end of a lot of the figures from this Fortnite run of toys. I figured before we get too far going, kind of the middle of the road size for a figure here. And this was the Jazwares soccer player that we'd looked at, and that is Meowscles. So Meowscles is obviously a lot taller. He is a bigger character as it is, so this is going to hit that mark as far as a really tall figure. Originally, I didn't think size-wise that they would work, but I'm starting to see that I think they're going to actually work together, and so I might be able to display him on shelf with the other figures easily. Now, all in all, I have to admit, I'm actually really pleased with this Meowscles Shadow action figure. It was not one I really seriously thought that I was going to want to have in my collection, or necessarily another Hasbro figure that I was going to review. I had pretty much in my mind that I was just going to get rid of it. But for the most part, he really does feel like just a solid action figure. And again, carrying on that kind of crazy fun, characteristic of Fortnite, he does hit those marks. There's some subtle things in there that Hasbro's doing that I do actually like. The texture in the pants, I really dig. The fact that we've got, fingers that are already in trigger pose and they don't have to be folded down because of a joint in the fingers, I kind of enjoy. But at the same time, I don't really like the lack of detail or sculpting on the face. Though the face is printed really good, it's still just a little wishy-washy to me. The fact that the weapons are a little soft, instead of the hands being on a softer plastic, kind of irks me a little bit, but at the same time it redeems itself because now the joints for the wrist are able to move a little bit better without, pulling the hand off or causing issues there. Even down to some of the small nuances of the pants sculpted down on top of the torso in order to make way for the holsters and everything to fit onto it. These are all small, nice details that I happen to like. And even though, granted, there's not a lot of articulation when it comes to the waist, the harness does get in the way, these small nuances still make for a pretty good figure. I'm not a big fan of how they do their joint system as far as the elbows and knees, but it's something that I can look past if the pose is set up in a certain way that it's not something that's quite as noticeable. However, when I looked at Dio and Siona, their joints as far as their knee and elbow articulation was so drastic, it did kind of get in the way of me enjoying it. With this particular figure, not so much. I think I kind of like it. So for me, I think overall, I think he's going to be worth leaving on my shelf. Something that I had pretty much in my mind I was going to return. Instead, I think I'm going to keep him. I happen to like him. I like his bench weight set, quote unquote. And I kind of want to have him work out with maybe some of my Jazwares action figures and incorporate him in to that shelf as well, because I think he'd be worthwhile. Now that's all I got to say about Shadow Meowscles. Remember, they're not dolls. In this case, action figures that have changed my mind a little bit about Hasbro. And I mean a little bit Hasbro. When I'm not recording videos here on YouTube, I'm actually over on a podcast on marvindogmedia.com called Talking Toys with Taylor and Jeff. It's a really cool toy podcast. Be sure to check it out. Also, I need your help getting my YouTube channel to grow. Be sure to subscribe down below with that big red button. Hit that bell for notifications so you can be alerted of anything that comes from me to you. Like this video, it helps YouTube know that you like what I'm making, and comment down below. I like chatting with you all.